Good morning, class. Daily you are hearing the news about COVID-19. The cases has been upsurged and the situation now became critically worsened. The second wave of a new variant coronavirus, which has double mutant, transmitting the virus vigorously as its mutant is double, so it is directly affecting the lungs or damaging the lungs and other organs of the body with not showing any early symptom. So last time we take a lot of precaution. This time we have to take more precaution as no one is in the safe zone. At least these times when school is closed and there is a partial lockdown, you all need to understand that why this initiative has been taken. You need to be vigilant and follow the instruction carefully, especially wearing a mask properly and how to wear a mask. So correct masks generally 2 or 3 layers of mask, which you cover your mouth and nose properly and not to touch the mask unnecessarily. Try to wear appropriate size of mask in a public place. Maintain a social distance. Try to avoid going outside and please avoid any social gathering or any other public places. And try to convince your family also. In case if it is very urgent, then only you go outside and please maintain a proper social distance. Take or carry sanitizers with you and at a regular interval sanitize your hand and wash your hand properly at least for 20 seconds. Make this in your routine work as well as in your habit also. At least this time is very crucial to all as COVID is at its extreme and it became life-threatening to all. So students, please stay at home, study at home and follow the school routines from your home. Attend teachers' lecture regularly, watch the video carefully and while watching a video, have a notebook and pen with you and note down the important points from the videos. Do your exercise regularly. Students, in the last video, we read about the topic settlement, in which we talk about the settlement was divided into two sections. One is the citadel, another one is the lower town. So today, we will start the topic citadel, which is known as public building also. So whatever the evidences the archaeologists find, especially the structures of the building, the structure of the buildings, they assume that probably it was used for the public purposes. And here the two important structures that were found that and used for the public purposes, here you can see the warehouse and the large granary, as well as you will find the great bath. So the two massive structure you can find the warehouse as well as the great bath. So the great bath here, it is the most, as you can see here, this is the most significant building of Mohenjo-daro. As you can see the image here, the most important structure, a rectangular structure or rectangular in shape, which resembled like a swimming pool. It is an important structure at Mohenjo-daro, and you can see it's a large complex. When we talk about this structure, it is a large complex with you can find 6 entrances over this complex, a central bathing pool. There was a dressing room on all the sides and an adjacent well. So you can see steps lead at the bottom of the pool from two sides. You can see here the steps that lead at the bottom of the pool. Water from an adjacent well, which is made in a room, was used to fill the pool with fresh water, and you can see an outlet was in the corner was used to drain dirty water. So it was made up of baked bricks and was made watertight with a layer of bitumen. The grate was, you can see it was perhaps used by the important people on a special occasion. So what is important here? You can see it is rectangular in shape, and you will see the size of the tank is approximately 11 meter long, and you will see 7 meter wide, and you can, when we talk about the depth here, is of 2.4 meter. Okay, so here you will see two staircases that lead down in the tank, as you can see two flight of cases in the north as well as in the south. So the floor of the tank is watertight. The brick that laid on the corner or the edges with gypsum plaster and the side of the wall was constructed in such a manner, in the same manner, okay? And you will see a thick layer of bitumen. Uh, it keep water from seeping through the walls, and which indicate that it was used for holding the water. So a series of rooms were made. As you can see here, the series of rooms were located along the eastern edge of the building, and in one room there was a well that may have supplied some of the water needed to fill the tank, and an outlet was made to drain out through proper drainage system. So because of the uniqueness of the building and the context in which it was found with several distinctive buildings in citadels, the scholars they concluded that this bathroom was used for the ritual bathings. Students, here the topic, another topic, tracking the social differences. As we do not have any definite structure or the basic structure about the society, so the archaeologists they will track the social differences on the basis of the, you can see, evidences or the sources. So the archaeologists they generally use various strategies to find out the social and the economic differences, particularly among the people, okay, living in a culture. So of these two strategies, one you can see the burial, another one is the artifact, okay. In the artifact you will see the utilitarian and the luxury. So it is on the basis of these two strategies that the archaeologists they concluded that there were differences in the Harappan society, and it was so because of the economic fact. So first we talk about the burials, okay. So you will see the study of burial, it is a significant method of knowing about the social and economic differences. As we know, you can see the massive pyramid were royal burials of the Egypt, okay. So dead bodies of the king with the huge quantities of wealth were buried with them. Some of this pyramid, okay, they were contemporary of the Harappa civilization. From the archaeological remain of the burial found at the various, you can see Harappa sites, we reach the conclusion that the dead were generally laid in a pit. As you can see here, while studying the Harappa burials, the archaeologists they found many differences. So when we talk about the burial pit, they did not have uniform shape. Most of the burial pits were made in a general way. However, in some cases the hollowed out spaces were lined with the bricks, or the surface of the pit was lined with brick or made up of bricks. So these variations indicate that the social differences were in existence in the Harappan society. So the pit made up of brick were probably the burials of the aristocrats or the wealthy persons. So when we talk about the dead body, okay, it was, you can see, normally buried in the burial pits in north to south direction. In some graves, body have been found along with the ornaments, and in some with bronze mirror, mother of pearl shells, and you will see jewelries of both men and women has been found in the burial. So when we talk about the precious ornament and other item have been found from some burials, whereas some other had only ordinary and inferior ornaments. Some graves, okay, they contain pottery and ornaments, and then you will see it indicate a belief that these could be used in the afterlife. So jewelry has been found in the burial of both men and women. In fact, the excavations at the cemetery in Harappa in the mid-1980, an ornament, it consisting of 3 shell rings, a jasper, a kind of semi-precious stones, beads and hundreds of micro beads were found near the skull of a male. And in some instances, you can see the dead were buried with copper mirror, okay. But on the whole, it appeared that the Harappa did not believe in burying the precious things with the dead. So the careful placement of the body provided with ornaments and the artifacts, okay, indicate that the Harappas, they believed in life after death. But on the whole, it seems that the Harappa did not believe in burying the precious item with the dead. On that basis, it rather became quite difficult for the archaeologists to trace the social differences. So here comes looking for luxuries. So study of artifact, okay, study of these artifacts, okay, is the another strategy to identify the social and economic differences. So the archaeologist here, after studying the archaeological remains found in burials, broadly classified them into 2 categories. One is the utilitarian and another one is the luxuries. So when we talk about the utilitarian, as you can see here, the object of daily use, such as the coin, pottery, needle, flash rubbers, body scrubbers, etc. Some under first category, these come under the first category, or these come under the category of utilitarian. So what is this utilitarian? They could be made fairly easily out of the ordinary materials such as the stone or the clay. So these objects have been found normally from all the Harappan sites. So when we talk about the second category, here is the luxury. You can see here, this include those rare or the costly objects, okay, that were made from non-local materials or with complicated technologies. So the material that not generally found in the market and the technology which is used is very complicated or complex one. So you can see a pot and other object that is made up of faience come under the luxuries, as these objects were very costly and it was not easy to make them. The rare object made of costly materials, okay, and you will see that have been not found from all the Harappan sites. Such objects have been found mostly at large settlements like the Harappa and the Mohenjo-daro. You can see miniature pots of faience, probably used as the perfume bottle. They have been found mostly in the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa sites. No faience object has been found from the small settlements like Kalibanga. Perhaps gold too. It was also rare and costly. We should keep in mind that all the gold jewelry found at the Harappa site was recovered from a hoards. So, it can be concluded that differences existed in the Harappa society, but they were mainly because of the economic factor. So now comes finding out of about the craft productions. Okay, so now we talk about the craft and industries. So the Harappa, they were gifted with the high talent regarding the craft and industries, making of pottery, metals, vessels, tools and weapons, spinning of cotton and wools, weaving and dyeing, making of ornaments and wooden articles, especially you can see implements related to agriculture, bullock carts and boats. They were important industries of the Harappa. So now we will identifications of the craft protection, but first we talk about the you can see the important centers of the craft production in Harappa. So when we talk about the important centers of the craft production, you can see the name here: Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Chanhudaro, Lothal, Dholavira, Nageshwar and Balakot. So they were the important center of the craft production. These were the important centers of the craft production. So how will you identify this important center of the craft productions? So the archaeologists, they usually identify the center of craft production first by the raw material such as the stone nodules, whole shells, copper ore tools, unfinished objects, or the reject and the waste materials. For example, you can see a piece of shell or stone cut to make object was discarded as waste at the place of production. Similarly, when larger waste pieces, they were used up to make smaller objects. So the waste object, they remain in a place. Okay, they left in the work area, and finding of such materials in a heaps at various sites helped the archaeologists to find or to identify them as the center of production. Okay, so now we will see a very important site, a very important area of the craft production, Chanhudaro. So it's a tiny settlement which is less than 7 hectares, was almost and exclusively devoted to the craft production. And when we talk about the Nageshwar and Balakot, okay, they were specialized center. They were specialized for making shell objects, including the bangles, the ladles and the inlay. So even you will find in Harappa the beautiful and the artistic pots, they were made with the help of the potter wheel by the Harappans. So pots, they were painted in red and black that you can't find in any other contemporary civilizations. So beautiful clays were made as in the Harappa civilizations. So manufacturing of cloth, it was also a significant occupation of the civilization. And you can see bead making. Okay, as you can see that bead making, it's an important occupation of the favorite occupation of the Harappan. And what are the material to be used here? Stones, you can see cornelian, jasper, crystal, quartz, steatite. And when we talk about the metal like copper, bronze and gold, shell, faience and terracotta or the burnt clay were used to making beads. And when we talk about the shape, you can see they used various form of shape such as the dish shape, cylindrical, spherical, barrel shaped and segmented. You can see some beads, they were decorated, okay, by the paintings, and some have been engraved and some has been designed by different patterns into them, and some beads, they were made up of 2 or 3 stones, and some beautiful beads, they were made up of stone with gold caps. And techniques that were used for making the beads, so they used different technique according to the material. Okay, so it was easy to make bead of steatite as it's a very soft stone. So a paste was made with steatite powder and bead. Okay, now you can see steatite powder and beads of various shapes were molded out of it. Even the micro beads of steatite have been found at various sites. So the techniques that were used in making these micro beads is remain a puzzle for the archaeologists even today. So what are the process of making the beads of harder stone? It was not an easy one. Okay, so you will see beads of only geometrical forms were made out of such stones. So the archaeologists, they believe that the red color of the carnelian was obtained by firing the yellowish raw material and beads at various stage of production. So now you will see the last stones, okay? They were broken into nodules. The nodules were finally flaked and then it was used to make a beads. So the beads, they were ground after, they were given their final shape and they were polished and then they drilled. So thus the process of making beads was completed. So specialized tools, the drill, were used to drill the beads. So these drills that had been found at several places such as Chanhudaro, Lothal and Dholavira. So you can see the beautiful ornaments that was made up of beads shell. Okay, and we saw the shell industries at Balakot and Nageshwar. So these two settlements, they are located at the coastal region. Okay, so the objects were taken to the other settlement from here, it may be believed. In the same way, the finished products such as the beads were taken to the large urban centers such as the Mohenjo-daro and the Harappa.